Any day.
Thanks, buddy. That's what we do.
I got that the wall is bent inwards towards the city. That's pretty cool. We got a
Mhm.
nice view. I drew a map. There's a vampire cult. They got a divine right to live their way, or something like that. Don't know.
So we have everybody except for D4 and 3 and Grobthar at Mr. G's, Mr. Guthorley. Correct?
Yeah.
All right. So, I think you guys had a plan for how you're going to approach this, if I do remember correctly.
I believe Shen was going to say that we were just buddies and we wanted to check out his museum. If I get the gist, if that's
Yeah.
ringing a bell with anybody else.
I think I was just going to tell him that I brought you guys because you wanted to learn more about the history of the place. And then with that, you can do whatever you want to do to find information.
Delightful. All right,
I don't really recall why we came here.
I believe Grobthar was knocked the fuck out, and we didn't want to go investigate until sundown. That other area, right?
Yeah, we didn't want to investigate that until he woke up.
Okay, so how does that lead us to here?
It was the only other place we had on our minds. And he sent you that note, and we were like, hey, might as well, when in Kremquay,
True.
What happens in Kremquay stays in Kremquay.
It seems like the only other lead / thing to do we had, I guess.
Okay.
Never know. Maybe he's the master van mind.
All right. So, as you guys revealed to the guards at the front gate that you were ready, or that they were indeed invited over to Mr. Guthorley's house, you are carted over to his house, and you're being, as you guys are exiting the cart, You are met with a nicely mowed lawn, a little bit of a fountain in the front yard, a nice, huge mansion with windows, probably about 5 feet tall, that are uh, about 3 on each side of the door, about 3 feet wide. They come to a point at the top to let in lots of natural light. There seems to be a garage to the left side that is very large, and some loud noises coming from that as you guys exit this. And you guys are put on the side of the street when you exit the cart.
All right. Where do you think the big man is?
um, I suppose he might not be home right now, considering that it's the middle of the day. Anybody know what day of the week it is?
I think it's Cuban.
Cuban. It's Saturday today.
Ah, yes. Okay,
okay.
I forget it's Saturday.
Well, we should walk up to the front door and use the big old knockers.
After you.
All right. I'll go knock with the big old knockers.
All right, there's big old knockers there for old-fashioned knockers. They have what seem to be like Yeti heads there with a ring through their mouth. Very, very intricately done in revertium, of course. Affixed to the door as you knock, and a few moments go by as before the door opens, and you are met with a familiar construct's face for Shen. You are met by N36. Oh, why, hello.
Hi, is Mr. Groot home?
He is. Do you have an appointment?
Well, do you not recognize me? I've returned to my workstation with some additional employees.
Ha ha ha. Very funny. I can notify him you are here. Give me a moment. And he opens the door and lets you guys lets you in.
I'll
Shen,
see
you
you
never
guys
have.
later. If I'm not back in 5 minutes, go to the garage and talk to Strekvig.
Okay.
Alright. As you enter, it's very pristine as you left it. And there seems to be another construct tidying up the place, as well as N36.
Well, in 3.6, it seems I've been replaced too soon.
He goes, yes, as you know, Grithorley likes to keep this place tight and tidy. And there's a lot to keep tight and tidy.
Well,
As
that's
he
true. I
goes,
did a lot of work around here. I thought I'd better be picking up the slack.
he goes, please have a seat. And he motions to the couch in the living room.
Is that slang to just call them a bot? Like, is that the N-word for robots?
Who knows, man? We can make a canon,
Filthy
maybe.
bot.
Dumb
Yeah.
bot! Anyways. A few moments go by as Mr. Gruthorley comes to the living room and goes, ah, Shen, how is it?
It?
How is your life perspiring?
Had a few drinks today, have we? No, things have gone well. Last you saw me, I was dragged away, and it seemed like neither of us had much of a clue of what was going on. Turns
Yes,
out,
this concerned me because I was unable to find out literally anything about you, and any sort of mail I had to you, any sort of couriers I sent to you.
I did get your
were turned
letters.
away.
I'll pull them out and show them to him.
He goes, "Oh, okay. Well, at least the direct ones were two that these made it through. I was very, very curious. Only the food ones made it through, but I do have a chef in the castle, so that I got out of some good time."
I had figured you were a much more connected individual to wherever I was brought. I'm surprised you had such difficulties in contacting me.
I am too. This is very, very rare. I have only seen this once before, and all these things lining up for you specifically. Your sentencing is what led me to your case, of course, but the arbitrary turning away when I asked for what actually happened here was what intrigued me the most, because there wasn't a deadline, there wasn't a due date for your trial, there wasn't even a trial to be had. It was just slanderous and terrible things that were pinned to your card when you were auctioned off.
Yes, well, I know you may still view me as just some dirty drug peddler, but I was in fact telling the truth in my the ways that I ended up arriving here in your mansion.
Yes, well, as far-fetched as they may seem, I am concerned for what lays ahead as well as what was in your past, seeing as I seem to have. I like to keep an eye on those that I help and make sure they're on the up and up, should I say. But it's very hard to do so when it seems that Revert himself is shielding everything as far as
Ah,
communication.
so you have a relationship with Revert? I take it it's soured over the past few years?
Well, more of a yin yang. He tends to bring in people and accuse them of things and try and put them in the mines and on trial, and of course I'm there to defend them, as slanderous as those things may be.
I see. So you were you're like a branch of government imposing restrictions upon another.
Yes. Except in this case, it's do they get turned into a robot or just lose their being in general?
Right.
So,
Oh, how rude of me. I'm not sure if you noticed. I I have a group of friends at the door, and I was trying to teach them more about the history of Kremque. And I mean, I didn't have much time to look through your museum, but I know that it's chock full of wonderful educational resources. So I was wondering if we could take a stroll. I mean, if you would be willing to give a tour, it would be even better. I understand if you don't want strangers in your mansion, but I those were the people that I was brought to, the people that I have been with since I arrived on this planet, and I was hoping you would be open to the opportunity.
roll a persuasion check.
All right. Didn't think I'd be rolling this early.
It's D&D after all.
What is my modifier? You said persuasion?
Yep. Unless you're
Okay.
trying to deceive him or something.
Well, I'm not trying to deceive him in any
Right,
way.
right. So I'd assume it's perception, what you're doing.
Persuasion. Yeah. Oh, I have -1 to that too, so I got a
Nice!
16. Still rolled high.
Alright, so he thinks it over for a little bit. And then says, with the amount of brainwashing and the amount of segregation, I'll say, that's going on with you and the bubble that's being formed around you, I think it'd be nice to get your friends a little bit more acquainted with what actually happened in Kremque.
See, we're on the same page here. Thank you for your willingness to educate the masses
Delightful.
properly. All right, I'll go to the door and let them in.
Okay. You guys,
I will motion to Mr. Groot for an introduction.
as you guys stumble in one by one, Gordon, you actually recognize this person, that they were sort of like a left hand to the king back in action, like your Kremque days, and that they were like very influential back when you still lived there.
Oh.
Like you didn't know him personally, but you knew of him and you'd like see him around, sort of thing.
Gotcha.
As you guys stumble in one by one, he kind of becomes more like confused as the party is very haphazard as from the normal company that he's used to. As you guys come in, you see a nicely carpeted or a nice tile like floor space as you enter for the door to the swings open on as carpet sprawls out across the floor in front of you. To the left, there's a study with many books and a desk in it. To the right, you see a living room with green couches that are lush and plush for what you're used to seeing in this world. Just to the right, you smell something hearty and meaty being cooked in the kitchen, and you see out through the backyard, because there are large glass doors, that there is a nice like naturey outside, as like not necessarily hedge maze levels, but trees, gardens, and bird feeders, all that sort of stuff.
So not a lot of revertium in the atmosphere.
Not a lot of revertium, no. As you guys come in, he goes, "Why, hello. And who would you be?" As he looks at you all.
Well, we're his friends, of course.
Yes, I was more referring to you as individuals, not a group party.
Well,
We're
Groot,
individual friends of his.
might I preface this with we are members of the Council of Estonia, a city far south of here. We're pretty up and coming.
Well, that's nice to know. Coincidental that you coincided with my help.
Your help?
Yes, well, you were in quite the spot when I found you.
Oh, I see. Yes. I thought I thought you meant like the help, like the servants.
So, what do you guys have some questions? Do you guys have some what would you guys like to do first?
Well, first of all, my name is Tam. Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you. He is like a very kind of like a button down that's black and well like ironed, and a black beard, very well trimmed, not too long, along with black hair. As he reaches out, he's a gnome, by the way, so very short.
Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, sir. Nice to meet you.
Just pat him on the head. Tussle his hair.
I was most curious about the times before there was revertium all over the place. Someone's gone.
The physical recoil. Did we lose
Evans. Yeah, no,
Oh,
Evans
Evans.
gone. He's got to
Internet.
go. So
Oh.
I gotcha.
Okay.
yeah.
He's not long for this world.
Well, I was just curious about the times before everything got all technical. I don't know. I thought you might have some interesting info.
Well, this was a time that I helped the king rule back in the day, and it's a time I was very fond of and wish we could return to the simpler times. But as
Right.
the time progresses, you have to progress with it to stay on top, of course.
So, the king's not ruling now, or he just had a change of heart? What happened?
Well, when River rose up, there wasn't much there weren't many that opposed him that still exist that are not turned into constructs, as was the king, and well, theorized. Nobody's seen him, so
He did this without their consent, just
of course.
basically killed them?
Well, he had his reasons, he had his trials that were one-sided and rigged, but yeah.
That's terrible.
Yes, most revolutions are very bloody.
So, what happened with Revert then? Why was he a bad kid growing up? Why did he turn out like this?
He goes, maybe we should start with the tour then. As he motions you guys, there's a large spiral staircase in the middle of the room that has red velvet like carpet on it that goes up and down, and he kind of motion with a nice finished wooden railing that's spiraling down with it. He motions for you guys to come down and says, "Let me show you a scene." Do you wanna describe what it looks like, Parker? Do you have notes on it?
Yeah, sure, but I just want to say that I am actually embarrassed that I did not realize until just now that I'm assuming the young outcast that was too smart for his own good is Revert. I cannot believe it took me that long to realize that. His name is Revert. Fuck's sake. All right. Let's see. So the internal infrastructure of the mansion is mostly marble, but as we head down into this dimly lit room, there is a lot of red. There's velvet carpet that contrasts with a dark and intricately designed ceiling. So you can imagine it probably like a cathedral type ceiling of architecture. Probably not a very high ceiling though, given that it's in the basement. There are display cases scattered all about. Well, they're not. There are a lot of them in a large area, but they're not scattered. They're very organized. And most of these display cases have descriptive plates on them, plates that I was unable to read because they are inscribed with a gnome language, so gnomish. And in the display cases are various trinkets, artifacts, storytelling devices, all of that. That's all I got.
Do you want?
Beautiful down here.
He goes, "Thank you. I've collected quite a bit of pieces here, and well, with my influence, I've been able to add to my collection here and there throughout my stay. This might clear up a few things as he leads you. So all the display cases are kind of like against the wall. The like dark wooden wall, and they're like he said, plaques in front of them for what they are and what they have in them. But in the center, there is a circular sort of display, and with glass over the entire middle, and then each like plaque reads like a story around the center with a different scene on the inside. If you go clockwise around, starting at the base of the steps, if you just take the base of the steps forward. Do you remember that one at all, Parker? Or do you want me to go through that one?
What do you want me to like go through the whole the story of the different display cases? Because I can read what I've got, but it'll take a couple minutes.
Yeah. Well, I kind of want you to say it so that I can add to it if you didn't take something down, is what I'm getting at here.
All right. Well, I have quite a bit of text here, at least for this part. So interrupt me if needed. But if we would start at the beginning of this circle that tells a story, let's see. Yeah. So the first one that we may gaze upon is an old craftsman tool with an inscription in Gnomish. The descriptive plate before the cabinet describes this tool as a family heirloom. Which family, I do not know. Probably Groots, I'm not sure. The tool seems to be from the days before the revolution. I assume everybody here is educated about the revolution at this point. Is that true?
I sure am.
All right. Well,
Not 100%.
all right. Well, you'll get there. We'll pick up. So there's that in a display case. Then another one has multiple items within it. These ones are circling around to seemingly tell a story. There is a volcano next to a forest, and a plate reads, "This was the beginning of Kremque." And it continues, there's a simple town of teepees and rudimentary wooden and clay structures. And it says, the plate says, quote, "Kremque colonized by the gnomes, a simple folk living a simple life, looking for no trouble whatsoever. Presumably the days of Gordon living here." And then it shows some gnomes leave the village. There's another plate that says, "Not all gnomes crave the simple life. They sought adventure, technology, advancement, and knowledge." Knowledge. The city was none of those and wanted to stay the same. So there began a unification, and the people grew stronger along with the city. But then resentment began. And there's a quote, "Resentment by one leading to the downfall of many." So there is an image of a tinkerer, presumably Revert, wielding a hammer, and is shown creating a rudimentary handmade toy. There's another quote saying, "He was an outcast, too smart for his own good, and made to leave town as a young man." So I'm thinking Revert was likely exiled from town for whatever reason. He is shown to eventually create a larger tech with stone and other basic materials. And then he made a deal with the gods. Somehow he was given the power of creation, and the figurine is shown with a shattered toolbox, making a rudimentary version of the robots that we see, like N36 and all of the others, like Gordon is currently, or Dane is currently inhabiting. It's like D4N3. It has another quote saying, "He had no followers, so he had to create them himself." Eventually, he challenged the city and overtook it by force, as is shown by a horrific war scene of gnomes versus robots. A quote says, "Once the civil unrest took hold, citizens were given a choice: go to the mines or comply with Revert." The display shifts again as it circles around and says, "From then on, a different Kremque had risen," as colonization by technology is shown with the figurines. As resources poured in, Revert became more creative, and infrastructure is shown to be built with the Revertium. The robots are improved with Revertium, and the display finally shifts to a current day Kremque with a quote, a final quote that says, "And now, the new Kremque, technologically advanced in every way." And then there is, at the very end, a slot missing in the display that I was unable to manipulate. I don't know why I was trying to fuck around with it. But yeah, there's a missing slot in the display, presumably to give the illusion of a potentially different future. That is what I got. So if you have anything to add, Ben, go for it.
Gordon, make me a perception check.
Okay. 13.
Cool, that's good enough. I'm the last one that says this is the current city of Kremque. It's kind of faint, but you realize that there is some sort of magic pulsing throughout the city. within the last one. Upon further inspection, but it's not like obvious and it's not easy to pick up. Like you're just looking at it like in awe, and as you're looking at it in awe, you see like a fluctuation, and then you look closer, and then you see it again and again, and it seems to be persistent. Almost like the glisten of a magical sword or a magical item of that sort of nature.
Okay. Okay. I can't do anything about that, but I'm gonna take note of it.
As you guys finish the sequence, he goes, "So, I hope that clears some things up for you and the revolution and how we got to this day and age from the old Kremque that some of you may know or used to know." As he turns to Tim.
Yeah, that helps a lot. Thank you. I knew bits and pieces, but to have the full picture, wow.
Yes, well, the reason that this is in my house is because, well, like I said, if anybody found out about how it actually happened, well, history would have to be rewritten to make Revert seem like a innovator.
Yeah. That's kind of how I thought before I knew. I guess I just put the pieces together.
Yes, well, I
Thought,
suppose it's a matter of perspective. How far are you willing to go? Ripping the souls of your community out of their own husks of bodies and manipulating them to do your will. But hey, at least you have your technology, right?
Yeah, technology is pretty cool.
Yeah.
there's definitely a midpoint to strike here. We just have to find a way to help it.
Help get to the midpoint.
I guess. But
Well,
we
I've been
can't-
doing my part. I've been
There's no
fighting in the
tough.
courts and helping those that have been falsely accused. So,
Mr. Groot, I've got a question for you.
yes.
You seem like a pretty nonpartisan fellow, but I must ask, do you have an opinion on the current state of Kremque?
What do you
If-
define as current state is my next question.
I will point to the final stage of the model that we're standing in front of. So
Okay.
the Revertium and
Yeah,
being under...
yeah, I know what you're pointing at.
Yes.
I'm trying to have him interpret what you're saying.
Okay. I promise it won't leave this room.
He goes, "I'm not quite sure what you're getting at."
Well, as in, did you agree with the revolution, or do you think that the resistance was more necessary and perhaps things could have been better off staying the same? I know
Well,
a hot
see,
take it might be, but I was just wondering.
revolution is a interesting word to use here because when you say revolution with the context to revert, it means one thing. But when you say revolution to those that turn themselves into vampires as a last resort, that can mean another. Even though they should be the same. It's the same side of the coin, but one's demonized, when the other is glorified. And then we're told to worship it and forget the bloody mess that it made.
Right.
I think that the destruction of the community as a whole was horrific.
And could you remind me, how many times have the people of Kremque risen up against Revert since his overtaking? I believe it
It
was
has
just once a
been-
few decades ago, is that correct?
Well, that was the major one. There's been spurts here and there, nothing nearly to the magnitude that it was at the beginning. When
Well,
somebody found the power of, well,
The
some call it the
serum.
serum.
Yes.
It revolutionized these simple folk to be able to fight on their own without having to be turned into this abomination of lifelessness in front of them.
Yeah, so I'm truly curious of. I'm sure you don't know the answer. I'm just bringing it up for discussion purposes. But why are the gnomes of Kremquay so desperate to return to their old life that they're willing to transform themselves into vampires? That seems like that's still that's not going to get the end result they're hoping for. Turning yourself into a vampire certainly will not bring you back to an old way of life. Instead, introduced you to a vastly different one. That's just as different as this change to a world of Reverdium.
Well, let me phrase it like this: when you brainwash an entire community to worship a revolution, and the revolution was solely based on strong creatures overtaking the counterparts of a weak community, and then they find out that they can become stronger than the counterparts that are repressing their wanted way of life, the hope that it inspires in some is overwhelming enough to where they are willing to risk their lives for not only themselves but their old community. This old Kremquay, it was a very tight knit community. It was very everybody knows everybody, even if you hated them.
Right. So would you say that, or would you agree with the statement like it's now more about power and control over Kremquay, and they seem to have lost sight of their initial goal?
Their initial goal is to rid themselves of this oppression. They can't even live their life. I mean, look around. Do you see
So would you say
anything
it's
that's nature?
never necessarily been, and these resistances have never been necessarily an attempt to revert to the old ways of life, and more of just regaining um, regaining control against these roboticists?
Well, I'd say it's a combination of retribution for the
Mhm.
people that they've lost, along with the unwillingness of the community to let them live the life the way that they want and intended.
So there's a lot of angles here.
There's a lot at play, and I've seen a lot of it unfold since I've been at the front of a lot of these trials.
Okay. Now let me ask you. We were, and I'll gesture to the two that are with me. We were recently down in the mines, and there was talk of somebody that was dealing, quote unquote, this serum out in the mines, and it it concerns me because that brings fear that there might be another larger resistance being planned. Do you have any information about that?
He goes, there's always going to be a resistance, whether it's little or large. The people of Kremquay are quite community based and quite stubborn headed when it comes to their old ways.
Okay.
When you say these things, I hope that you haven't told too many other people of this,
Oh,
for
of course not. You are the
if this
first one
person
outside the
was
scene.
found out, I fear for what they'd do to the other people in the mines, and the accusations that would go around, and the wake they would leave trying to find this one man.
Right.
So please, for the sake of the man and everybody else in the mines, I pray that you keep this to yourselves and don't tell anyone about it, especially those in power to make changes to this sort of thing.
Gordon, can we sidebar for a second?
Yeah, sure.
Can you remind me what was the name of that guy we were looking for in the mines?
His name.
Like Hattie or some shit?
It was Hootie.
Hootie. Oh yeah, okay.
Hoodie.
And Hoodie, okay. And were we like like, what was your goal with finding him? Was this all related to Dane? Why we were looking for him, or did
It
you have
was
reasons?
I didn't really have a reason other than he was like our only lead as to how the vampirism has been spreading.
Okay. And I'm just curious, with you having this lead of somebody that could potentially be fueling the resistance against Revert, why you wouldn't alert Revert to this potential resistance, as he specifically asked if we knew anything about a possibility that we let him know, or the trade deal between us and Estonia is off. I'm explicitly questioning your dedication. I guess that's not the right word, but I can't think of the right word. Your dedication to
Loyalty?
Revert, loyalty to Revert. Yes. Are you loyal to him, or I guess I haven't gauged your relationship very well.
I mean, I kind of have to be loyal to him right now.
Okay, so can I trust you to keep this on the DL until we figure things out more?
No, of course, I won't say anything.
All right, end of the sidebar.
Do you guys do remember what happened with that scenario, right?
We told Nostro, right?
Mm-hmm. Do you know what
And-
Nostro's doing right now?
Oh, he's
said
down there
fine.
beating ass.
All right, well, I guess we have shown Revert loyalty, and hopefully he'll trust us a little bit more now. But the information you are going to learn as we continue to be in this mansion should not get back to Nostro or Revert, if you are so willing to agree to that.
I mean, if you guys are willing to show us what's actually happening, I am not going to break that trust that you guys are showing to us right
All right. I mean, I don't have too much, but I've got some things I actually need to tell you guys away from Mr. Groot as well. Ben, did you want to take the opportunity to give Grobthar and Abe
Abe's with you
a
guys.
chance to do stuff? Oh, he is? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Four
Grub-
and
You're-
3 and
you're really-
Grobthar are back
okay.
there.
I didn't realize Abe was with
It
us.
was
Yeah.
Dane.
Okay.
So, you guys kind of like went off in a corner, talked back and forth for a while. Now you guys have come back, and in this time, Revert kind of turns over to Abe and goes, "You've been awfully quiet. What's your story?"
Wait, when Revert get here now?
Or not Revert, Abe.
That would be quite a predicament if he was here.
Wait, Abe turned to Abe?
Gruthorley.
No, Gruthorley. Mr. Gruthorley turns to Abe. My bad. I've been thinking about things while you guys were talking.
Yeah. I'm Abe.
Nice to meet you, Abe. I see
Nice
you
to meet
have
you.
some lovely jewelry as he kind of like looks down at your arm.
Isn't it beautiful? It's my best friend bracelet.
He goes, "Oh, I'd hate to be that best friend. That best friend probably hates you."
Yep. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? We'll
Kind
get
of.
to that bridge when we get to it.
He kind of looks at you and he goes,
Not even cross it, just get to the bridge to get to it.
he
Yeah,
looks
going
at you
deeper.
kind of like mournfully and goes, "I hope whatever you contracted, or I hope whatever you did, whatever deal you made was worth it."
Yeah, me too. Anyways.
Yeah, me too. Anyways.
Yeah. I'm just, regular old Abe.
Cool, cool. And as this awkwardness takes place, the other two kind of like come back over. You guys come over and see Abe like extremely awkward, like very out of character for Abe, who's usually very confident.
Ah, yes, Abe just exuding confidence.
Charismatic man.
He is very charismatic. This is very uncharismatic of him.
True.
Abe, what's got your panties in a twist?
Huh?
You're not exuding the confidence that we're normally used to seeing.
You're there, Tam. You can do stuff with it.
Yeah, I'm laughing, dude.
Ah, gotcha.
That's all I got. You know.
Cool. Anyways, Mr. Guthorley kind of like shakes his head, like, what the fuck? And then turns back to you guys and goes, so, I hope this brings a better light to your situation, so you're not looking at this through rose-tinted glasses as you guys proceed. Especially without being able to absorb this sort of knowledge or be influenced by those that might know better or have the willingness to help. It concerns me the bubble you're being placed under, and if it's truly a bubble or a shell that's being built around you, such as the walls around the city.
Speaking of glasses and knowledge, I have something that might be I don't know, something we're trying to get more insight about, and I'm gonna go into my bag and whip out the
glass
cloth
of
with the
knowledge.
symbol on it. But can you tell us what this means? I was gifted this when we were in the mines by another gnome. Said, "Hey, if you want to learn more about your family, go to the northeast."
He goes, my goodness, so you're from here then?
He left long ago, before Revert took over.
I see.
I believe before it was even an idea, or believed to be occurring.
Interesting. Well, where did you live?
Sorry, you're asking me.
Yeah, he's talking to you.
Okay. Sorry, I was talking to someone else. Can you repeat what you said before that?
Oh yeah, he said, oh, so you're from around here, and Shen went, yeah, he's from here, but before Revert had his happening, so it's very different. And he turned to you and said, oh, so where are you from then?
Actually, you're from here, funny or not. I lived here
Well,
before the revolution happened.
Ah, delightful. Do you know where exactly you were from? I mean, you were from
I'm
yeah.
gonna tell
Like
him.
within the city.
Yeah, I was from the part.
Yeah, I mean, you were from the northeast part of town.
Yeah, I was from the part that I was told to go visit if I wanted to find out anything about my dad.
And he goes, oh, how interesting. Well, I do talk to many people in many places, and I do know that this is the insignia of the rebellion, so I'd recommend not showing this to any constructs, seeing as this could be portrayed down the line to revert at some point, or just kind of keep it close and make sure you don't show this to the wrong people.
If this is the insignia of the rebellion, why do you house some here? I mean, I know it must be an artifact of a prisoner that you represent. Is that correct?
Like I said, I support many people, even if they are part of the rebellion. I do my best to help them not lose their right to exist in a breathing form.
Fair enough. So,
Regardless of their flaws or alliances, I do feel one has that right, or should at the
Okay.
very least.
I can respect your moral
theoretically,
compass.
what if I did tap and show this to somebody?
I would be very careful
Yeah.
about your next few moves.
Sounds good. I'm just
Well, I
gonna
have
put it back
something-
into my bag.
Sorry,
What
just
was
one
that?
sec.
Oh, okay.
I have to type something and then I have something I want to do. Okay. So out of the corner of my eye, I'm going to something's going to catch my attention in the museum, and it will spark a memory of seeing it last time I was here, and I'm going to bring this up to Mr. Groot. I'll walk over to it and say, "Hey, couldn't quite figure out what this is last time I was down here by myself. Could you speak a little bit more to it?" And I specifically want Jake to be here for this, so we're going to wait till he comes back.
Okay.
I'll just wait entirely until he comes back.
So, I'll wait to describe it until he comes back to then.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
I'm assuming I know what you're talking about. You're gonna have to describe it a little bit before I go
I
into any
will.
detail, but I'm pretty sure because it's the one without the plaque, right?
Yep.
It's like
it is
the only one
plaque.
without the plaque. Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're having a sidebar, I got off for next Saturday, the 6th.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
So
Saturday the 6th.
I
Okay.
think we should do that.
Heck yeah.
Nicole tonight, she went to go get our dog, our puppy.
Nice, nice.
Ooh,
So
what'd you get?
We got a toy poodle. Because I am allergic to dogs and it's hypoallergenic. So
Oh, while we're waiting, we can do
Okay.
Grobthar's side of things.
what is he just living in his mind right now?
Kinda, yeah. I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good.
Pizza's here.
What the?
Oh, nice. Bring
What
me a
the heck
slice.
happened here?
So
Thank
right
you,
as you left, what I was doing was something that I specifically need you to witness. So Ben took the downtime to take Walter and go do some stuff with him for a sec.
Okay.
I'm reading back in my notes from 7 sessions ago, and I have you learn that owners of robots can take control of them at any point to watch us, enforce rules, etc. Something I told all of you guys just blatantly. And then the immediate next sentence is, "This information is extremely sensitive and can get you killed." And I just told you guys a couple sessions ago so nonchalantly.
Because you could trust us.
If Nostro overheard that, probably wouldn't have been good.
I don't think Nostro can hear. I think it's Bird.
I don't know. Either way, I'm not dead, so.
It'd be Nostro for Dane.
We haven't been killed yet, so.
No. Oh, that's right.
That means we'll
Also,
never die.
Jake, I don't know if this has any significance to you, but the cook here in this mansion is named Ahil, and he's from Norbury, just like Grimold, the chef we have in Estonia.
Okay.
So he taught me how to make a I don't know what the name of the food is, but he taught me how to make a dish from Norbury.
And you withhold this information from me, the chef of the group? How dare you?
I just told you. What was it? That's supposed to be
told
the
me
first
too
thing I
late.
tell you? I didn't think it was that
Yes.
important.
You always tell me all recipes that you learned in your journeys.
Alright. I mean, we can go visit the kitchen after we're done with this shit in the museum. I can go introduce you to him, and I mean, I don't know if Ben has anything prepared for you to have a conversation with him, but
Oh,
it's
going
not
to
like
fucking
he's new to
better at
improv.
this point. Gonna learn me some recipes. Screw
Yeah, he makes good fucking food too. I ate dinner at this place 2 nights in a row, and they were amazing.
Gonna be the Gordon Ramsay of Stone.
Hell yeah.
Wait.
So You guys are like pros at Valheim now, right?
No, not even close. We have still only beaten the second boss.
How many are there?
There are 5 main
is
big
there?
ones, but there are other like mini bosses and shit. As far as I know.
Are your bases awesome? Or is that not a big part of the game?
They're getting there. Oh, the bases are a huge part of the game, and like the traveling and adventuring, like we still have barely scratched the surface of the map. So you are not far behind once you join. Like it's up to it's up to you whether or not you want to advance quickly and take the like armor and weapons that we've built that are the most advanced we can currently get, or if you want to just continue from where you left off, that's fine. You'll catch up pretty quickly.
Yeah, your plot of land's still there. So you're free to.
It is. There is a
your house.
wall up in between that main base and where your plot of land is, but we can easily take that down.
Yeah, we could build around your house whenever you're done or whatever.
And if you want to relocate, that's totally fine too. Because we now have 3 main bases. I guess one of them is not necessarily a main base. It's the one by the Elder God, which is the second boss. It's just kind of there so we can easily access that boss.
I was gonna say, is it important to have outposts like near that stuff?
Yeah, I think so. So I don't know if anybody has filled you in, but we discovered there are portals in the game. So we have like a portal hub. So far, we only have 3, but you can teleport between different areas. So it makes
we have
sense. Pretty
4.
convenient.
That's sick.
We have 4, but like the other side of the 4th one isn't down yet, right? Because that's
No,
the
we
one
have
that
4
you.
now. One goes up north from our main base. One is to the Elder, and then the other one is to your outpost.
Yeah, and
Oh, yeah,
then
4
that's 3, and then the 4th one is the one that you're holding and waiting to put down after we get to a new island in the boat.
I thought we had
Right.
4 ready to go. Maybe, I don't know. Probably.
No,
It's probably
because you're right. It's the Elder God, the up north, and then the one that's by the plains.
Yeah.
And then you placed a 4th one, but you only placed the one side because we're waiting until we find an island with swamp because we need to find a new swamp biome.
Yes.
Is there a specific order you have to do all the bosses?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a pretty linear progression in the game.
I was just wondering if it was like, hey, if you find this one first, it'll be easier. Then the next one, it'll be a lot harder, like scaling.
Oh, it is. It is fucking hard. Like it was difficult. Like when we started out the game with our basic materials, whatever, and were in the meadows, which I think is the furthest. I don't think you've gone to the Black Forest yet, have you? You didn't play a whole lot.
I played for like 40 minutes.
Once you go from the meadows to the Black Forest, then mobs get pretty hard. But after just a short while, it got super easy. Like they're so easy to deal with now. But now the next biome that we're going to, the swamp, is it's really difficult. And like there's just shit that kills you so easily. And then the plains we discovered is another biome, and that's very hard. Which I'm honestly really happy about that. I'm happy that the game is challenging because I was fearful that it would just be like, oh, you unlock the next tier of armor and sword and then you one hit everything. But you really got to work for that. You got to work for it to be able to one hit shit.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this game doesn't just hand the wins to you. So at least not in my experience so far.
Playing probably the most exciting part. So we were out doing ship stuff. We are just sailing on the seas, and then we came across this fucking floating rock, and we're like, "Oh, hey, that's interesting. Let's stop there." So we stopped there, and then there's like these little bulbs of rocks.
They were barnacles.
That kind of look like the Hershey's Kiss cookies at Christmas. And so Parker and Ben were mining those, and then we're like, oh, that's a weird little grumbling noise. And then the rock started to move, and it's like, oh, fuck, it's moving.
Yeah, so there are big-ass turtles.
Funny.
It just swam away, but it did damage to the boat.
Yeah.
I bet.
What game is this?
Valheim.
Oh,
If you end up getting it, you can join our dedicated servers, so you can play anytime you want.
Yeah, I think it's only $20, and the game is only like a gigabyte, so
Yeah.
it's not like super intense to run if you don't have a great computer.
oh wow. How new is this?
It was just released on early access like
like
a
a-
month ago, I think.
Yeah, they already have 4 million people plus.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
really
I
cool.
think I saw in their news they hit like 500,000 concurrent players or some shit.
Yeah,
it's
people are
blown
loving
up.
it.
Blown the hell
No.
up.
Yeah, they have 4 million total players, but they hit like 500,000 people online at one time.
Wow. It's funny, this whole time I couldn't tell if you were talking about Minecraft or not. You were
I
talking
mean,
about
it kind of is like Minecraft.
Played it for the first time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the building is very well, like it's not great, but it's very well fleshed out for an early access game. Like there are definitely little things that I wish I could change, but I'm super happy with it.
Easy to learn.
Sure.
Yeah. And Ryan, I'm excited to show you the base that I made. And I'm excited to build my next one because we're probably a couple of days away from unlocking like the ability to make stuff out of stone. So
Oh,
like
that'll be fun.
yeah, so we can make like a stone fortress and shit instead of having to put up like wood walls everywhere and thatch roofing and stuff.
Yeah. You guys see my map I made?
Of Kremgui?
Yeah.
I did. It's gorgeous.
Thank you. I like to think I'm an artiste.
You certainly are. I wonder why Evan had to go. I hope he's okay.
I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, he went on a date thing with his girlfriend.
Oh, nice. I didn't even
didn't know
know
it was-
anyone to
Oh yeah, I didn't know until today either.
know.
Apparently,
Well, good for
it
him.
was that. Do you remember that chick that we played D&D with for when Skrosk was DMing that one shot like a couple years ago?
Yeah.
It's her.
I don't think I was part of that. I don't remember that.
I don't think you could make it.
Yeah, the only time I've played with Skrosk as a DM was the one that we did as pirates. That was really fucking cool.
Because we had Shen be the quest giver or something like that. If I remember correctly.
Oh, okay.
Because you were gonna make it, and then you couldn't make it. And then I
Good job.
said, I'll just put him in. I'll put Shen in somewhere.
Okay.
Wait, not you. Not Shen. Fucking... Jesus. Mahoney.
Oh, Jesus Mahoney, yeah. Yeah, man. We left off at such a pivotal point in Evan's campaign with those rainbow potions, and I'm so sad we'll probably never go back to that, but if we do, I'll be pumped.
I think Evan said he lost the notes for it.
Yeah, that was a fun campaign.
That was fun.
Because didn't we take one of those giant-ass turtles, like, down to the city or some shit?
Yeah.
Or no, the city was on its back. That's what it was.
It was like a portal inside the turtle or some crazy shit.
Yeah.
It was
You
nuts.
can take your Valheim inventory to any other server.
Yes, and
Oh,
all
yeah,
your
you're-
skills will transfer over as well.
Very
Yeah.
smart.
Your character can go anywhere. The only thing, so I was actually reading a thread on this earlier today because I thought it was an interesting discussion. A big pet peeve that I had originally had with the game was when you make portals in the world, you can take anything in your inventory with you except for ores and ingots and shit like that. And a lot of people were, rightfully upset about it. But then other people were also like, well, because you can't transfer your ores that like super easily and take that kind of shortcut, it kind of forces you to adventure out on the ocean more often in a boat, and it makes you have multiple bases on different islands. So you actually have to like establish a presence in multiple areas of the world instead of just going out to explore every edge of the map. and then bringing everything back to some central place. So it kind of makes the whole game feel more fleshed out in that you have a lot more space that you're utilizing, and you just have a lot more stuff to do, which I thought was a good point, and I hadn't really thought about before that.
Hello.
True.
Hola.
Oh, hey.
That
Did
was
you-
really boring.
You
Nothing to
guys,
note.
Yes, we. What are you going to ask? We 100% did.
yeah, there's no note left for Grobthar and Dane as to what they should be doing, right? So,
I mean, when we left, Dane knew that he was just guarding Grabthar's body.
right, so Grobthar, yeah, there's no note.
Cool.
Did Dane leave his presence? Oh no, he's slacking. He's a robot. He doesn't sleep. How did this happen?
Fucking revert, dude.
Anyways, we'll leave it there. We'll bring it back to the. Oh, we'll let you think on that for a little bit.
Me?
Anyways, yeah, Grobthar. We'll let Grobthar think about what Grobthar does there.
Cool.
Anyways, bringing it back to the main party.
Yes. So my eye was caught by a display, and then I remembered that I wanted to find out more about this. So I'll bring all of us over to this display in, I think, like the corner of the room or whatever. And inside is a soul gem, or maybe it's not a soul gem. Maybe it's a blood gem. Can you?
Well, blood gems and like soul gem is a tier up from blood gem that's been magically infused.
Okay, so it's a soul gem that is not empty. So it has been infused with presumably a soul, and it's accompanied by a black hooded robe adorned with with what I now identify. It was originally a strange and unidentifiable symbol, but it is the symbol that was on the cloth, so the symbol of the resistance. So this gem might contain the soul of somebody who is very important in the resistance against Revert. There is no plaque to this, and let's see, there is also another display case next to it that has a figurine display of a well-guarded cart that is being attacked, and a glass display falls out and shatters, and a figure in a black cloak flies off into the distance. I can tell you right now that scene is not a depiction of when we accidentally let that vampire release into the wild. It is an unrelated instance of a cart being attacked and a figure escaping.
You don't know that for sure, but from what you guys recall, this is not similar to the things that you encountered. Just
that's
a
good.
very coincidental figurine happening of it.
So we have confirmation now. Let's go. Let's get the vampire.
All right.
So, Mr. Groot, could you educate us on what's going on here?
He kind of Romy he kind of looks at it for a moment and goes and kind of contemplates for a little bit. Just sits there in silence, not talking at all, which is very uncharacteristic for him.
Mm-hmm. Choosing his words carefully. I'll just start talking while he's thinking. I'll say, well, you see, Mr. Groot, I didn't know what this symbol was at first, but now it seems like that is a symbol of the resistance, if I recall correctly, what you just said a few minutes ago. And this is clearly a filled soul gem. This seems like a pretty dangerous artifact to be holding. I mean, no judgment. I just, are you qualified to be guarding such an object?
Roll me a persuasion check.
1 and -1, so 0.
Nice. He looks at it and he goes, "This is one of the few things in my well-guarded house that I'm keeping here in case I ever see a friend again."
Oh.
So what you're saying is we're not friends. Got it.
Noted.
And he just kind of
Cross
like
you off my
looks
friendship
distantly.
list.
Mr. Thoroughly, nope.
Okay. Well, Did you guys have any questions about this? Is it striking to any of you? And I'll gesture to the other three.
I see that's the same thing as my thing. So I'm like, are you sure it's not someone important? Come on, man. We're friends. You could tell us.
Roll me a persuasion check.
I sure will. Really so good. That's a 3.
He kind of says, like I said, not much to talk about here.
But you can tell me, honest Abe.
Yeah, no, he motions you guys out of the.
He is a man of prayer.
You
He says
know,
nothing.
What happens is
You
he kind of
can't lie
like
to the
looks at
father.
you suspiciously, looks at your bracelet, looks at you again, and kind of just ignores you.
Alright, that makes sense.
So yeah, he kind of he goes, anyways, I hope that this information leads you to make more well-informed decisions. I'm not going to tell you what you should and shouldn't do, especially under the thumb of Revert.
Like,
He
tell
can
you
be
what we're
quite
not
powerful.
gonna do is make well-informed decisions.
Everything is spur of the moment here. No ifs, ands, or buts.
We're in a
Everything is
tough
awesome.
place. He has all of our powerful magic artifacts. It's kind of holding him hostage from us.
Hey, Tam, make me a perception check.
I'm a perceivable person.
Are we now?
If I can find my
Perceivable.
if I can perceive where my freaking dice are, that's cocked, dude. Cool. 11 plus something. Where's my sheet?
Plus 10 for 21.
I wonder if Groot's friend is the quote-unquote lawman.
11. Just 11.
Okay. Yeah, you look around and you kind of see a bunch of things, and you see kind of like a sword in the background in one of
Oh,
these display
jeez.
cases.
Ooh.
It seems to be made out of wood, though.
Let's get another history lesson, boys.
Better give it to
Okay.
Baltar then.
That sword over there looks really interesting. Can you tell me about it?
As you walk over closer to the sword, you see that it's you see that it's a wooden sword replica of a heron blade.
Do you know what this is?
Are you asking Gruthorley?
Yeah. This is a swordmaster blade. A heron mark sword. Good golly.
He comes over and kind of goes, "Yes, we had some. There were some good people with great morals back in the day that used to come and visit the town. I used to be quite good friends with some of them. They stopped coming eventually when everything went to garbage, unfortunately. Ironically, if they stayed, none of this, they probably could have fought this off, seeing as they'd be completely against Revert and everything that's happened here and the morality of all of it. But I'm sure they had more pressing issues to attend to." So he kind of like looks off mournfully.
Wow. You knew them personally.
Some.
That's really cool. Do you know any names? Anyone I can ask around for? Well, see, I'll pull out my broken one and show him. See, I'm kind of on a quest to find someone who can help me repair this and help me get the right one.
He kind of like looks at it and smirks and he goes, attorney-client privilege I'm gonna have to claim on this one, friend.
That's understandable. But if you happen to meet anyone, I am looking.
He kind of like thinks for a second. He goes, "Sounds good, and best of luck on your journey."
Best of luck to you. Is there anything
Anyways.
else? Is there anything else I want to look around? Is there anything else that catches my eye? Maybe not.
Not with an 11, no.
Have there been any additions since the last time I was down here?
No, it seems pretty much stable and the same. Besides, like, the cleaning seems to be like vacuumed a little different or something, or like taken care of a little different. So he goes, "Well, if that would be all, I wish the best to all of you, and hope that you can not lead too many more people. You can help those that shouldn't be led to their demise keep their bodies."
Well, I must say I agree with you there. No, I apologize if this is out of line, but perhaps we could stay for dinner?
He kind
I'd
of
love to pick your ear a little bit more.
he kind of looks over at
Pick your ear?
kind of want to pick your nose a little more. He kind of like looks over a little bit, and you see a heel cooking up tacos, and he goes, "Well, you know, we got this interesting new recipe." So the big smirk across his face. "I don't know where it came from, this taco thing. You guys should try it. I hear it's pretty good."
Hell yeah! Classic dish. of
As you
Norbury.
guys, classic dish of Norbury. As you guys, as he invites you guys in to the kitchen, you guys see a nice, elongated table with kind of like a booster seat on one of them, and many chairs as they bring in more chairs for the company that's here. It's an elongated oval table, nice wooden chairs that are nice, finely engraved, once again with like a darker oak or something along those lines, a dark wood at the very least. Chairs and sort of like tile, like marble tile walls and marble tile, not tile walls, marble walls with kind of like matching tiled floor to the marble walls. As you guys are served tacos with all of the garments nicely, like from guacamole, tomatoes, cheese, lettuce, you name it down the line. They have a nice little buffet style cooked up for you guys. As you guys get your meal, you end up at the table, and they seem to be pouring out kind of like they got some white wine for the gnome cook. They got some red wine for Mr. Guthorley and Miss Guthorley herself, as they pour it out and start drinking it themselves. As they ask, "Oh, are you more of a? What would you guys like to drink?"
I'll take a chocolate milk.
Can I get a Coke?
I gotta go.
I will take red wine.
Can I get a Jack and Coke? Hold the Jack.
Two.
Okay,
I'll have whatever wine I had last I was here.
I'm a red wine
you had the white wine last time.
man.
It was
Sure.
quite good. What was that, Tom?
I'm a red wine man myself.
Red wine man? All right. They go, "Oh, okay, delightful." As they kind of put, so they come out with some chalky milk and some dark fizzy drink for no, Shen, you wanted the white wine, that's right. So it comes out with some chocolate milk for Gordon, come out with some white wine for Shen, and Abe and Tam, they pull out a new bottle and they cork it open for you guys. as they put
Ooh,
theirs
Thank you.
away on the shelf. They go, "Oh, only the finest for our guests."
Thank you for such fine hospitality, Mr. Groot.
And he goes, "Oh, please, it's not every day I get to share my passion of history with those that are willing to endure it. As long as you're willing to, keep this on the down low and make sure
As
it
the
doesn't
kids say.
spread," as the kids would say.
Well, we're all about using protection, so we're not going to be spreading anything.
Delightful.
Ben, I must ask, is this a private dining session, or is his son, robot, and wife in attendance?
Everyone's attending. It's like a family thing. From what you've attended at his dinners before, everyone's in attendance.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess I should mention you guys see Mrs. Gruthorley sit next to Mr. Gruthorley, and a very small gnome child run around with like a revertium hammer, kind of like slamming it on the table, like playfully as dinner proceeds. Seems to be toddler age, maybe a little older.
I kicked the child in the face. No, I'm just
Oh.
kidding. I'm gonna nudge.
Oh, a heel and Strekvig are also there, by the way.
Is our food out here yet?
Yeah,
Or are
the
we still waiting?
food's all nicely lined up in front of you as you guys take seats and as the drinks are poured for you guys as you arrive at your seats.
Okay. I'm gonna nudge Gordon and be like, and point to a heel, and I'll be like, hey, that's the guy I was telling you about. Why don't you take the opportunity to introduce yourself after you're done eating? I'm sure he would have some recipes for you.
Oh man, I almost forgot. Thanks for reminding me. I'll make sure to do that right after I'm done eating.
Sounds great. Is Strekvig here too?
Yep, Strekvig's here as well.
Nice. Oh man.
Very messy, but he's there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm just gonna enjoy the dinner because all of the dinner conversation that I have is not something that I can discuss in front of his wife and child. At least I don't think I
We
should.
getting rated R up in here? Oh, what's going on, man?
No, I just have some questions that may upset some people.
So you're saying it's wife and child that you stupid understand. Got it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we're in the business of keeping things on the DL, I'd like as least amount of people as possible to hear what I have to say.
I'm definitely gonna bust out some old war stories with
Do it.
heavy embellishment.
Delightful.
Should he roll a performance check?
Roll a performance check,
Roll an
Skrast.
embellishment check.
One.
You
Wha-
forget some parts, but you get the main point across.
It's so bad it's entertaining.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good shit.
So you guys enjoy your meal. The wife and kids seem to head over to the living room, do their own thing, as well as the N36 and the cleaning robot head over in that direction as well. As the table starts to be cleaned by a heel, and Strekvig starts to kind of somber off slowly into the garage.
All right.
I'm gonna try catching a heel before he leaves. Be like, oh, a heel, over here.
A heel's the one cleaning the tables and all that, so he's in the room with you guys at the moment.
Okay, good. Thought I was gonna lose you. So, Shed tells me that you were from Norbury, same as. Do you know a guy named Grimald? He was also
He goes,
a chef from Norbury.
it's a big city, but what is it? It's a big city with lots of bustling parties. Everyone there is great at any sort of cooking. I'm sure this Grimald you speak of is amazing, but no, I have not met him, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Well, that sucks. He's a cool guy if you ever meet him. But so Shen tells me that you're just this fantastic chef. Am I right?
Oh yeah, you know him, man.
I am also an aspiring chef. I'm not great, but I can make some stuff here and there. Would you be able to teach me a couple recipes that I could take on my path?
I don't know, man. I got some easy ones that I can teach you quick, but I gotta clean up first because it's kind of my job.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
As you look around, you see like a necklace similar to the ones that were affixed to some of you previously with a gem in it. As he continues working around. He goes, "Yeah, I can teach you some stuff. What are you looking for? Some soups, some like some meats. He's looking for some sautés, some dessert.
Ooh, something to do with meat. Something like something for a small feast for like 6 people.
Ooh, okay. What we cooking? What we cooking? Like, what we feeling?
I don't know. I feel kind of hot. I feel kind of spicy. Give me some spice.
Oh, some spice, some spice. Ooh, nice. We looking for like those southern herbs, or we're looking for the eastern herbs, like the.
Oh, you know I gotta go with the eastern herbs, my boy.
Oh, you know where it's at. The long kick. There we go. Straight from Normandy himself, Norbury himself. He loves it. I love it. We'll show you right up, and he kind of like lights up because as you know, yeah, he's from a place that he loves doing that from. Your evening is watching him clean that and then learning this new, essentially it's like spicy chicken, with like a, it's kind of like an kind of like an orange chicken but spicy, essentially.
Okay.
From Normandy, on some sort of rice that he ends up cooking up and like showing you how to do
Okay.
in his free time. So while you guys are getting some nice orange chicken spiciness from the kitchen, what are you guys doing?
Tam, I'll give you the opportunity, and Abe, if you guys want to do something before I do.
I don't think so. I think I'm just along for the ride.
I've been there.
You're muted, Scrask.
I'm muted. I'm staying next to Shen's hip. Don't want to get lost in here. Don't want to break anything.
Yeah, wouldn't want to do that, right, Shen?
Wouldn't want to get lost or break anything. Yep, we got that.
Your instincts are good there, Tam.
Yeah.
All right. I guess while the other two are sitting at the table, still, I guess, I'd like to initiate a semi-private conversation with Groot.
Okay.
Just want to ask him, hey Groot. So I mean, I know we've talked about these things a lot, and I think my understanding is pretty clear that of your occupation, your career, and the way that you represent people in attempt to reduce sentencings and prevent your soul being entrapped in a robot. And through all of these encounters that you've had with people who have supposedly committed crimes, I mean, I assume some are legitimate and others are not, based on your opinion of Revert. What is your experience with black market dealings? Specifically, is it common for you to represent somebody that has been caught in some sort of scheme in where they deal something that they should not? I know this is quite weird coming from someone you view as a drug peddler, but a question I have nonetheless.
He goes, he kind of like looks a second around and then goes, this is a conversation for my study. I'll meet you there in just a moment.
All right. I guess as I make my way towards the study, I'll just let Abe and Tam know. Hey guys, so Gordon's over in the kitchen if you want to grab him. But while I'm talking to Groot over here in his study, why don't you guys go introduce yourself to Strekvig in the garage? and then I'll leave and go to the study.
Yeah, I was gonna say if this is a private conversation you're trying to have.
I mean, I'd love to have you in on it, but Groot seems to want more privacy than we already have. You know
Yeah,
how it
you know.
is.
Never too much
Good luck,
privacy.
have fun.
As you kind of like leave, Thorley comes over to Tam and he goes, Tam, was it? Yes.
Yes, Tam
Um,
Kadarian, sir.
Delightful. Tell me, be honest. Shen's been laying off drugs, right? Like he's not on anything right now. He hasn't done anything since he got out.
No, been the
N-
same as he does.
No,
He's
no
always been.
reckless potions or reckless
I almost
any.
did.
No, I haven't seen him chugging any potions or anything.
Good, good. For the sake of everyone, please try and keep it that way. He seems to be recovering quite well from his delusionalness when I met him. So,
All right.
yes,
I
just
will
keep an
do
eye out,
my
please.
best.
Yes, don't want him to turn into something he doesn't want to. And then he kind of heads over to the lab of the study, rather.
Mark that one down.
Oh, and which way is the garage?
If you come in
Left
through
of
the
the main
front door,
corridor, I
out to the
think.
left.
Perfect. All right.
Yeah, let's go check out this dude. I mean, he ate like a cool guy.
Yeah, he ate a lot of food. He's probably like 4.5 feet tall, and for a gnome, that's pretty big. And
That's
for
like
a
a
gnome, he
giant
seems pretty
gnome.
jacked. Yeah, he's like giant. He's pretty huge, and he's just straight jacked. As you come into the garage, you see you see something that kind of resembles stuff you've seen in Revert's castle. Kind of like the workshops and all the sort of tinkerings, as you see him kind of like fiddling around with some sort of revertium trinket in his hand.
What's his name again? Something stat.
Strekvig.
Correct.
It's Strekveeg.
Strekvig.
Yeah.
Strekvig. Hey, Strekvig.
Kind of like looks up and goes, "Oh, hey, how's it going, guys?"
Pretty good, pretty good. Have you heard of chess?
He goes, "No."
Yes.
Well, let me tell you about the new upcoming greatest game straight out of I don't know where. Tam, help me out here.
Straight out of Estonia.
Yeah.
Like the hype man that comes in just a second too late, straight out of Artesonia. Yeah.
Here, I'm just gonna put it together for you. You get this. I'm gonna start getting it out, putting it up.
Okay. He kind of like looks suspiciously at you guys.
Tell you what, let's play a game. I think you'll catch on pretty quick, being a tinker and the logical type.
He goes, "Well, I'm just trying to be a tinker. I'm not exactly the logical type. More of a, well, was more of a warrior back in the day, but you know, cut myself a deal with Mr. Thorley, or he cut me a deal rather. That was, well, I get to keep this form. Don't get to be a robot, and I like that, so I get to repair robots in my free time.
What was your weapon of choice?
Oh, the great axe, of course."
Pretty badass. You were really putting them down over there at dinner too. Keeping
Yeah.
up that shape.
Oh, you gotta.
I'll tell you what. This chess game, it'll help you sharpen the knife of that brain though. And it's kind of like fighting in a battle, just like a pretend battle.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. He's
Seeing that-
now more intrigued by what's going on, for sure.
Seeing that we have two warriors in our presence, I think this would be a great game.
Like how this is slowly delineated into the game of the warriors for the intellectual.
Gotta sell it, man.
Intellectual warrior game, man.
Oh man. Like when you're a student athlete, you're a student first. When you're when you're a chess player, you're a chess player, warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Like all the good soldiers are doing it, if you know what I mean. Teach you
He goes,
how
"All
to
right."
think
Chess is the new
strategically,
drug.
man.
And as he plays, he's just like, "This is just dragon chess, isn't it?"
But these aren't dragons.
What are you, a
These
racist?
are people. This is like you're a commander.
But like,
Commander on the field.
doesn't that make them weaker?
Yeah. Means you have to be smarter to use them better.
Okay. When he plays out a game with you guys, roll me an intelligence check.
I'm gonna try and make this a fun game. I got a good amount. Let me just check my intelligence here. 20, a dirty 20.
You just destroy him.
No, I'm not trying to destroy him. I'm trying to make
You
it.
just okay.
like-
Okay.
I'm trying to carefully play it so he doesn't look like I'm babying him,
Okay.
but I'm really babying him.
Okay.
and then
Okay. The game goes on for a little bit. Do you let him win?
No, I'm gonna beat his ass.
Okay, you beat him. And he
Gotta
goes-
make him
Yeah.
think like he's hooked. Like I can beat him, just need to play more. You know?
He kind of goes, interesting game we got there.
Yeah, it's a fun time.
Yeah.
I could show you. I can show you how to make all the, or I can show you instructions on how to make all the pieces. You can find someone, and I'm sure there's someone in the city you can make. I mean, you could even practice your crafting if that's what you're into, to try and make one of these.
Roll
Might
me
be
a
a fun
persuasion
one.
check.
Yeah.
It might be a fun way to actually train that. Oh, I'm rolling so well. 17.
Nice. He kind of like looks at it for a moment and he goes, "It would be something to put my time towards. Besides all these meaningless tasks that I got. When the robots
Hey.
are all fine and dandy, not really much for me to do."
I'm
Yeah,
going to continue building it up. We were in Bolani not too long ago, and we sold literally half of our inventory.
Oh, you don't say.
Yeah, it was crazy. Just flying off the shelves.
Nice. He is sold on chess at this point and
Great.
just starts making the chess pieces. Anyways, back over to the other two, Shen, not the other two. Back over to Shen. You entered the study, sit there for a little bit. Make me. Do you look around for anything in particular?
Nothing in particular, no.
Okay.
for your eyes.
Well, I mean, I'll look around the room, certainly.
I have
Yeah,
a
that's-
perception check.
Breaks my eye. Oops, my die fell. That's an 18, and the mod is 3, so 21. 21.
Nice. 21. All right. So you look around and you see that it's much more clean than last time you came, and the schematic of whatever was there before is not there anymore.
Well, that certainly throws a wrench in some of the things I wanted to do. Okay. I'm not gonna snoop around because I know he's like right behind me.
Yeah. He comes in probably like a good 5 minutes, and takes a seat in his big
Maybe he wouldn't notice.
presidential chair looking thing, and kind of leans back and goes, "So, you had a more pressing question?"
Yes, well, it seems like there's more than meets the eye here in this mansion. Now, I don't know what I can do to assure you that I am a trustworthy member of this mansion, but I am just seeking the truth. And after our previous discussions, I'd like to hope that you trust me somewhat. And we've talked about a lot of these artifacts that you have in and around your mansion and your study and all of that. And it strikes a curious note, because a lot of this has not moved. And I know that you represent people that may be locked away for a long amount of time, and you protect their precious artifacts, but I can't help but think that there may be some buying, selling, trading going on with these things, and I'm just curious if that's happening.
He goes, well, if you're referring to the black market, that's a interesting term here, because anything you can import is not even close to the level of revertium. It's
So revertium is an extremely valuable resource then.
yes, which is interesting why he'd build the entire city, including the walls, out of it. It's the only place in the world revertium's known to be. It's extremely fine-tuned to magicalness or easy to fine-tune to magical spells and incantations and things along that line. And it's very strong, like steel.
Would you say it's indestructible, or does it have a known weakness?
No, it's it's breakable, just like steel, but it's pretty strong.
So if any imports to the city are invaluable in comparison to the revertium, then does anything get cycled throughout the city?
See, that's
Or
the
like
thing.
within?
It's kind of odd. When you bring up black market, I'm assuming you're referring to other cities and the things that they forbid. But in this city, there's not really much to forbid, and that's the case because, well, anything that comes into the city is monitored, and if it does come in unmonitored, well, it
Well,
can't compete with the things here already. There's a lot of technological advancement. There's old magic that's being researched. There's people imbuing themselves with old magic. There's all sorts of odd things going on.
okay, so this is more of a free for all on who owns which belongings.
Yes, but strongly reinforced by Revert. So
Okay.
mainly just Revert uses black market tradings from other cities to get what he needs to progress his city's technology.
Oh, so does Revert have knowledge of your inventory?
No. And if he did, he's going to have a hard time getting to it.
I can see you got a very well protected compound here.
Yes, and that's only what meets the eye.
Oh, interesting. Well, I'm. Let me see. Hold on, I gotta figure out what I want to ask. Okay, so it seems like you and Revert have quite a soured past, and I'm sure that he would disapprove of your ownership over some of these blood gems and soul gems. Can I ask, are there any that you acquired through means that did not include your representation of a prisoner?
Well, any of that would be illegal.
That's precisely why I ask.
Yes. That would be quite the predicament if I did do that somehow.
It would, wouldn't it? And it would be quite a bigger predicament if, say, a third party would like to become involved in such dealings.
Yes, like I said, black market deals aren't exactly under the radar here.
So, are you saying I
Any
could
black
inquire
market
about
deals
I
that you
could-
want to partake in, you cannot do in this city without Revert knowing about it. Eventually.
Well, eventually.
It's a matter of time until he checks the logs and all of his constructs. to see what they know.
So he has access to the constructs of, or to the logs of N36? Or is that expressly, like, is it only for you?
Well, see, this is one other way of, if I were to do something, only the maintainer gets access to that. I have my own maintainer, which is technically illegal.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see that you have more brains than I may have initially anticipated. No offense. I
None
know
taken. There's a reason I have what I have.
Well, you've disguised yourself well. Now, let me get to the important reason of why I brought all of this up. Is I am primarily looking into the acquisition of a blood gem, and I was hoping that you could help me out with that.
Well, I don't have any, unfortunately, that I can spare.
None to spare.
All of mine are linked to things out of my control,
Well,
like cases, for example.
then I'll dig for information, because I have a friend, an acquaintance, one might say, that has ended up in a blood gem in a robot. Something I know that you and I both find absolutely abhorrent, a practice that is well outdated and immoral. Now, do you know, is it possible to relieve oneself from a blood gem and replace back into a body, or is it a permanent process of being placed within one?
As far as the people in the town, nobody has come to the likes of this. But with more technology and advancement, especially in the old magics, who knows the possibility? We're hoping that one day this is the case, for sure. Because if that is the case, we can start rebuilding the old community of Kremque. Which is another spark of hope that leads some to become into vampires, because they know, even if that's the case, that they have to throw away their soul now, there's a potential that in the future they could revert themselves to their old past.
Oh. So you believe that the transformation into a vampire is purely physical and doesn't affect the soul?
From what I
And-
understand, correct. Because when the vampires are turned into robots, it seems very... They seem to lose all this sort of recklessness and mindlessness that they procure when in that sort of physical form.
Right.
It seems to be like a physical form plague almost.
So you're saying there's the potential that if a vampire were to have their soul put into a blood gem and then retracted from that same gem later on, that they would revert to their original form before being affected by vampirism?
Let me put it this way. Vampirism is more of a plague on the body, not a plague on the soul.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page.
I heard that laugh, Walter. I know what you're thinking.
Huh? What? Huh? Nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
I know you're grinning ear to ear over there. Don't even try me.
Well, that's all well and good, knowing that we could potentially get my friend back out of a robot. However, I have another friend who is not so smart. And I fear that before I was
He
able to
will be
reach
a
him,
robot.
I fear that before I was able to reach him, that he was, I don't believe willfully injected with the serum that I've learned about from both you and Strekvig, and without a blood gem, I don't know how to protect him. How to
Yeah,
protect
this is
my other
unknown
friends.
even to me. I don't know
I
of a
mean-
way to do this. If that was the case, the rebellion against Revert would likely fail to exist, seeing as the primary strength that they rely on is vampirism.
Mm. Well, Groot, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna take a lot of guesses and hope that this isn't out of line. But I think it's time, specifically time for Revert to find a new home.
Well, good luck with that, my friend. You're going to need an army. Because he has one at his ready. Minutemen on every street, every corner. Anywhere you can go, he can see you. Anything you're planning, he can get whiffed of.
Hmm.
If you did such a thing, you'd have to have quite a strong army and keep it under wraps without any sort of constructs knowing about it.
Well, in line with my questions about the black market, I was more so inquiring not only about the blood gems, but how to get this serum. I had mentioned earlier that we were looking for someone who had dealt it in the mines, and they have seemed to been taken care of by other powers in a way that I had not preferred. And seeing as that might be our only chance at getting out of here, I'm at a loss of what to do. Have you no clients or friends that
Even
know
if I did,
anything
that'd
of
be
this?
highly illegal and I wouldn't incriminate them in such things.
Of course, I understand. Okay, and you have no knowledge of this old magic or any way that the methods by which a soul is transferred from a body to a gem?
Well, I say old magic because it's magic that's not. It's the magic of the gods. It's not magic that you know as magic. It's so strong, it usually requires some sort of sacrifice to use. Blood magic is the closest thing that you might be familiar with. And
So a sacrifice is required
on a
to
lot of it,
transfer a body to a gem?
no, that's blood magic. It's a bit in between.
Okay.
More leaning towards actual magic, where there's a certain amount of equilibrium that needs to be met. You can't just create new things out of nothing, and you can't just make something into nothing. These are
Okay.
laws that even the gods can't disobey. But if you do create something from nothing, or grant yourself a certain amount of power from somewhere, you do need to
Well, I'm glad that that
run a risk.
the laws of matter apply. That matter can neither be created nor destroyed, or yeah, you know what I mean.
Although it may appear to be the case in a lot of these instances, it is not always. You might not always see the bigger picture.
Mhm.
But like I said, this old magic is very powerful, and some would say is the same magic that created the dragons back in the day. But it's being researched by Revert. And with this technology and the combination with Revertium, very dangerous. Who knows what it could unleash?
Okay. Well, that seems above my pay grade. But thanks for letting me know. Well, I gotta say, Groot, I've really landed myself in quite a predicament here. I've got a friend stuck in a robot. His body is has been taken by an unknown enemy, and I've got another friend who is currently incapacitated, with the likely result being him turned into a vampire and either destroying a lot or ending up in a robot himself. I mean, I know that's something that you I mean, that's your career, is preventing people from ending up in a robot. Is there any advice or help that you could provide to prevent this from happening?
Well, the only way to prevent this from happening forever is to stop them from being put back into robots, right? Which would be stop the creation of robots. But that's a little bit too political for me.
Political. We need to lead a revolution, Mr. Groot, and I need your help to do it. I
Well.
understand that you might not be so intrigued by that notion at the current moment, but I'll leave you with that to think about. I have been able to, you've been able to contact me with letters in the past. That seems like a good mode of communication. If you are able to replicate that in the future, let me know of your decision, because unfortunately time is running low, and I would rather not act without your assistance.
Yes, if there were to be some sort of revolution, I'd be very much encouraging it. But I do not think that I can be the one to lead it, seeing as I am quite the figurehead, and I am needed to protect those that cannot protect themselves. I serve a much higher purpose than that of a war front. And as far as contacting you in the future, from what I was told through the grapevine, you were let in to this gated community by showing the only notes that I was allowed to get through to you.
Was that
It's a matter of time until Revert finds out that this sort of communication breach is happening and shuts it off completely.
Understandable. Well, it's good to know that I have someone cheering me on from afar. I hope that I will see you again after today. Now, I do have one final question. I noticed that. Oh, wait, also, I want to mention we do have a battle strategist among us. So I think you can put your good faith into Tam. Aside from that, let's see. Oh fuck! What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. I noticed that the schematic we discussed last time you were here is not present with us. Do you still have it?
No, that one was for a client that was actually working in the research facility for Revert. He stumbled across something. Do you remember much about it?
I do. Let me hold on. I do. I recall that it was in a language that I had not been able to recognize or read, and
Yes.
I had brought it to, if you recall, I brought it to Strekvig, and even he could not quite understand the schematic, but his skills are rudimentary anyway. And I recall you telling me it was quite an important schematic, one that had potential to be used for severe evil or wonderful good. So I am quite curious of why you allowed it to leave your possession.
Well, I didn't exactly allow it. It was more confiscated after the trial. The client that I had designed it, working in Revert's research facility, because those in Revert's research facility get everything paid for, but at the cost of everything that they do is monitored. So it's why everyone in the city tries for it, because they can get whatever they want whenever they want, no restrictions besides they have to report to Revert about their findings. But in order to get there, you have to be very intelligent, and this young gnome, very, very intelligent. He made up this massive, insanely good structure that could be infused with old magic in many different ways for many different things. And it's you see him like start to get more nervous about it. He goes, there wasn't much said about the schematic itself, but from the trial, what I can tell you and how it resolved, because it is public knowledge to know this, that schematic was quote unquote wrong, doesn't work, and should be scrapped. But if it wouldn't have worked, none of this would have taken place. And coming out of that facility, no, they don't even make mistakes over there. Whatever this was, it was very deliberate, and they're trying to take it off the radar.
Well, thankfully, we have a very skilled roboticist among us. Gordon, you've met him. Do you think he could potentially have he could gain access to the research facility?
That would not be up to me. Also, this was not something that's existing anymore, so it's not going to be something you're going to find in the research facility. And the reason you couldn't read it is because it was old magic runes. It wasn't gnomish, it wasn't a language.
Hmm. Okay. Well, this has been quite an interesting visit, Groot. I should return to my friends. They're likely lost in your large mansion, and I'll have to herd them together.
Hopefully they don't break too many things. I
Is
need
it alright if we
a bit of them for my
As you hear
trials.
a glass plate crash in the kitchen. Sorry.
So, since I'll have to go find them, do you mind if we show ourselves out, or would you prefer to wait until we're collected?
I'd prefer to collect them,
All right.
as it
Then-
is. I have a lot of things I need to keep track of.
All right. Then,
As he walks with you guys to
we'll go.
he walks with you to the garage first.
Okay.
As you walk into the garage, you see Strekvig intently staring at a chessboard laid out by Ave and Tam.
Well, what
as
are we
they
doing
are
here?
intricately discussing battle strategies and how it is not dragon chess.
So you think if we had a revertium chessboard, the
That
pieces
seems
could
very
move
expensive.
themselves?
And magical. But I could make gears to go, and then Grithorley comes in. Why, hello! I'm glad to see you guys are getting acquainted. As he comes in. I'm going to have to see you guys out. We have some plans for the evening. I hope you don't mind.
All right.
No. Hey, thanks for having us. Really appreciate it.
Been nice to meet you. Been nice to meet you, Strekvig. Keep it up.
Strekvig turns up and he goes, "Yeah, I'll see what I can do with these little dinky pieces." And he holds up like one of the pawns.
Hey, I'm sure you'll figure it out, bud.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thanks, man. See
Mr.
you.
Groom, is it okay if I stay behind and just have a few last words with Strekvig while you go and gather Gordon from the kitchen? I'll meet you in the main hall.
Sure, just don't take any of the revertium. It's against the law.
Oh, I would never think.
Until
I'm not
later.
good. I would never leave here
As he was
with
putting one
something
into
that
his
it-
pocket.
I would never even think to leave your mansion in possession of something that I did not arrive with.
Well, you wouldn't be able to even if you wanted to, as he gives you a wink and walks out.
Yo, Strekvig.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, you know how you were telling me about the possibility of another resistance coming up?
It's with all the quietness that I've been hearing down the grapevine, it's bound to happen sooner or later.
Well, I'll have you know that we, and by we I mean I and the fellows I came here with today, are this at this point. Not, and I'm not sure what is to come, but I'm currently expecting to return to a friend who will be in full-on rage mode from this serum. And I don't have much, I don't have many resources to deal with that aside from just letting it happen. So I think we're just going to have to take this thing full force and go for it. and I need to know, do you have any contacts that I can reach out to, advice, resources, anything to help us succeed? Because it's
Well,
going to happen.
if he's going full rage mode, he's gonna need lots of meat, and he's gonna need lots of blood to drink. Cause the more that they get starved at that, the crazier they get.
Okay. Now, you led a resistance in the past. Is there a... I know Mr. Groot is quite a scholarly man, and he's not one that can be outsmarted. But I can't help but kind of think of, is there a way that we can get you out of here? Because I think your help would be invaluable. I know you
He
have
kind of
that
like
chain around
laughs
your
and
neck.
goes, he kind of like flicks the thing around his neck and goes, "Buddy, if you can get this thing off, there's gonna be little that can stop me."
Well, if it was taken off of me, how can we get it taken off of you?
Well, Revert holds the keys, of course.
Of course.
Well, not him specifically, it's his robots. Which is basically him.
Hmm.
Don't know if you noticed, but when your collar was taken off, it was by a robot or him himself. I assume a robot.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you this, Strekvig, things are going down hard and fast, and I'll be trying my damnedest to get you out of here because your help will, like I said, be invaluable.
He kind of like looks left and right and he goes, "Getting out of here isn't the issue. Getting this city out of the Kremquay is the issue." He kind of like does a big head motion.
Oh, we won't need to get out of the city. We'll be pushing out the ones that need to leave.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. Well, with your expertise and the strength of my army, I think we can do it.
I'm gonna need that army though.
I'm totally just talking out of my ass. We have an army. Don't worry about it, Strekvig.
We have a Hulk.
We do have a Hulk.
You literally do. He's big and green and muscly, and doesn't go down when hit like 3 times. All right. He returns to tinkering as he waves you off, with best of intentions, of course.
Good talk, buddy. All right, I'll go meet the guys in the main hall.
As you walk in, you see Mr. Guthorley kind of like observing, kind of like from a distance, like patiently waiting for Gordon and Hale's like meal to go up, and Hale's like, "Yeah, you see, like you pour out the you pour out the sauce on it, and they see how it glazes super nice over the chicken, and then it gets all in there. Take a bite, take a bite, take a bite." And he like cuts off a little bit.
I take that bite, throw it in the trash. No, just kidding. I'm gonna eat that bite.
It's super tender chicken, and with that orange zest and the spice, it's not like a super hard hit, but a super long like burn as the spice comes out.
Like, oh yeah, I love that burn.
And the best part is that spice gets rid of all that other stuff you're gonna be feeling bad with in your stomachs from the past bad meals. So this one's a good one for our cleanup meal afterwards. Remember that one.
I will.
All right, let's go. Always a good time, always a good time. And he looks over, he goes, "Oh, well, looks like your party's looking to leave here. Good to see you around here, though, man."
Always nice to meet another chef who knows what he's doing.
You gotta love it. If you want to meet more chefs like that, check out Normandy, man. It's a great place.
I will when I'm able
Normandy.
to.
But make sure you bring coin. They like coin over it. A very expensive place, but it's worth it. Parties all the time. It's a grand blast. Great food, great party, great atmosphere. It's a fun time. Love it over there.
Awesome. Well, sounds good, dude.
All right. See you around. Maybe, hopefully not. If I see you, you're probably a prisoner. So see you around.
I'm gonna walk out with Grutholi.
Okay. As you guys exit, you guys come back to the cart with
Wait.
your.
Mr. Groot, I have one last request.
Yes, what would that be?
Could I borrow a pencil?
He goes, why certainly, and hands over a pencil.
Can I take this off of your grounds, or will it be confiscated?
I do not know the restrictions of what you have gotten yourself into, but this house will allow you to take that.
Thank you much. I will pocket the pencil, and I'm ready to go.
Okay, cool.
I'll give him a big old sloppy kiss. Goodbye, Mr. Groot.
Oh my gosh, thank you! You look fabulous. Bye! Alright. you get in the cart and kind of like sit down, and Gordon still kind of smells of the meal that he prepped, and being super spicy, you still see him kind of salivating on his tongue and turned a little bit brighter red than normal as the heat is much more than he's used to, but very good nonetheless. As the cart starts moving and heading back to the castle.
So yeah, Tam, I was thinking if we had 20 miners as a pipeline for Reverdium straight into our manufacturing center of like 5 or 6 tinkers, we could really blow up this chessboard manufacturing. And I mean, this is the place to do it.
It really does seem like the place to do it, and to make them move like on their own, like you don't even have to bend over and move them. Maybe just press a button, and it does it. That'd be pretty cool.
That's a
Maybe
pretty big innovation over normal.
Something that can
Magma chess.
control like the way the pieces move.
Maybe it could be
in front of your eyes.
telepathy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
We'll have to sell Revert on it first.
Yeah, we need capital.
Anything you guys want to bring up in the cart ride back?
Are we being watched while we're there?
There appears to be a robot driver, but it's on the road, so it's a little bit of noise going on as you guys are carting along. You get the sense if you stayed quiet, he probably couldn't hear you.
All right. Sorry, Ryan, was there something you want to do?
I just want us to say that was a cool place. That was a cool dude.
Right. He was very he treated me very well during my stay as his prisoner.
But did you treat him well?
It's like 1A, 1B. Who's cooler?
Oh.
Revert,
We were
Revert or Mr. G?
We were quite interrogative of each other, but I think we get along well. Just a bit of a tense relationship, but you know how these things are. When you're forced to be someone's slave and then you are freed, it's a little jarring. Anywho,
Some say a little bit jar-jarring.
I'm going to gesture Abe, Tam, and Gordon around me. Just gesture. I want their attention towards me. I'm going
Wow,
to.
Shen, put that penis away.
I am going to pull out one of my letters from Groot, flip it over to the back side, and start writing.
Okay. What do you write?
The first thing I write is, "We need to betray Revert." And let's gauge some reactions. How do y'all react to that?
Wait, so you're just holding this out in front of us? This note?
I can't wait till
Well-
he shows the grab there. He just reads it out loud.
I am obviously going to put a finger up to my mouth and to be like, shh, librarian style. And
We're
I'm
not
not
in
going
a
to be.
library. Why tell us to be quiet?
I am being as inconspicuous as possible. I am writing this down and then kind of like when you the little animation on credit card swipers where it's like protect your pin.
You like?
So I'm
Yeah.
like flashing it at you guys. And I want to see how y'all feel about that through facial expressions. Anybody want to describe what they look like right at the
I'm
moment?
just giving you this really quizzical look. My eyebrows are just like all furled up, like The fuck are you talking about?
All right, Gordon is quizzical.
Same. Yeah.
I'll say out
Surprise.
loud. I'll say, maybe I can tell you a story later.
Oh, okay. Hold on, I have to type something really quick.
Slowly shake my head. Yes. But not like a yes, yes, but like a more
Like
yes
I
than
got
no.
it. Yeah.
Okay, and now I am going to spend the rest of the cart ride furiously writing everything that I have learned outside of their presence within the mansion. Will you give me the opportunity to finish writing that before we arrive and be able to show it to them in the cart, or is that something that will take long enough that I'll have to wait?
How
to
much
show
are you
them?
writing? And the paper that you were given isn't really
It's
that big.
it's about 2 paragraphs of writing.
Okay. You're probably gonna have to write on something besides just the paper, because the paper's like maybe a post-it note.
I do have 2 sheets of it, or 2 letters.
Yeah. So you got like 2 post-its. So I guess you could write 2 paragraphs on the back of each of those.
Okay.
But you'd probably have to acquire more paper before you do this some more.
Yeah, I'm sure. Let me see. I'm just gonna. Do you have any like hold on, sorry. Okay. Do you have like any exposition or anything to do while I figure
Yep.
out what exactly I want to say? All
Yep,
right, then,
but I'm
then
gonna
go
let
for
everyone
it.
else in the cart do it first, if they want to do something. Is everybody else in the cart good? What are they up to?
I'm gonna let them know, like, hey guys, don't worry. I found a new recipe for this great chicken. Very spicy. Gets a little tingly in your mouth, but it's great. Nice and tender.
Like better than the other recipes you learned.
It might just be better than that.
Are you betraying Estonia by saying that?
To be fair, you didn't learn any chicken recipes from Estonia.
Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not betraying the motherland, Tam.
Be. You better not.
I'm saying it might be. I mean, the taste of food is subjective. You guys might like it better. You guys might like it worse. I don't know. It's up to you to decide.
Did you see that sword?
What sword?
We were right in front of it, dude. You didn't see the sword.
I'm not one to really take in the accounts of swords. They're all just barbaric weapons to me.
One day I'll have one of those, but a real one.
One of what?
It'll be so wonderful. I can uphold the morals of the sword masters. Be a real one.
Hey, if there's anyone more moral than you, then I think they're a liar.
Hey, you know. It's not my fault I say what's on my mind.
Sometimes that's a good thing. You're more moral than the rest of us.
As you guys cart along, Grobthar, with the
Yeah?
situation you've been handed, I'm just now that you have had all this time to think about what you're gonna do.
Uh-huh.
What's up? What you gonna do?
I mean, I'm probably gonna get some food,
Okay.
and that's it.
Okay. Where do you get? How do you
I
get
don't-
food?
I don't know. There's evening time. Let's go to wherever we eat.
Okay. You
and
walk
get
in
food.
and there is nothing there yet, but a
What?
robot greets you.
Son of a bitch. um.
Robot greets you, going, "Can I help you?"
Yeah. I've been passed out all day. And am also very hungry. Could I get food?
Sure, we can have this arranged. What would you enjoy?
Uh, I don't know. Any meat. Surprise me. Just
I will see if we have any meat, and I will be back to you on that. And a robot like heads off.
cool.
Some time comes by and you get some like meatloaf of meat, like all nicely cooked up,
Cool.
like some sauces on it
Hmm.
in the dining hall across the way. And you just chow down, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'll eat it and wait for the group to come back.
All right, sounds good. You wait a little bit, and the group comes back as they go into the room across the hall from you. You guys are met with an empty corridor with no Grobthar in it. Or Dane, or D4 and 3, by the way. D4 and 3 is missing.
I'm just gonna put my head down into my hands, be like, what the absolute fuck?
It's alright, man. Some of us just fail at being fathers.
That's very funny coming from you.
I don't say that.
You left your
But-
kid unattended, dude.
Dude, he's like 4 years old. Or 4 days old.
Fucking, I mean, Dane in robot form is still smarter than everyone else, so I figured he'd be the best one to do it.
That is fair.
Alright,
I
you know the
mean-
drill. Check the kitchen.
As you check the dining room, you find a Grobthar.
Oh, so you're
Oh,
awake.
sick.
Good. Where
Where's-
the fuck
where's
is
Dane?
safe? Where the fuck is my son?
I don't know. He wasn't here when I woke up.
I see that you woke up. Where's Dane?
I don't know. He wasn't here when I woke up.
Fuck you. Are you okay, dude?
Yeah, I feel great, assumingly.
You're
Ben hasn't told me.
you're not exhausted anymore, but you feel exhausted. Like you don't have any exhaustion points, but you feel like exhausted. Like hungover.
Sure.
Are there any other robots in the room?
No, just the ones outside at the moment.
Okay, I'm gonna go outside and talk to one of them.
Okay.
Hey, so you know that big hulking orc that came in here?
Yes, he ordered any meat.
Yeah, so he was in a chamber, just knocked out, and there was a robot watching him. Do you guys happen to know what happened to that robot?
Ah, yes, that was me. I was standing guard.
But what about the other robot that was inside the door watching the big orc?
Oh, there
These-
was a robot that was taken in for maintenance
Where?
upstairs.
Can you lead me over there?
I do not know where. There is a lot of maintenance chambers.
Okay.
It seemed to be urgent, whatever the case was.
I'm gonna poke my head back in. Guys, I'm gonna find Dane. Be right back.
You think this is a good idea? You want some backup?
If you want to come with, anyone that wants to come with. But everyone else, I prefer stay here. But if not, what the fuck ever.
By the way, Shen, you've finished writing out the 2 paragraphs that you need on the sheet of paper at this point.
Okay, cool.
So, if I want to come with you and be annoying, I can. But otherwise, you want me to fuck off? Is what you're trying to tell me?
Now, if anyone wants to come with, I won't say no. But if they just want to like stay here,
Yeah, I want you to say yes. I don't want you to not say no. I want you to say yes.
fine, Sam. If you want to come with me, yes, you can come with.
Thank you. All for one, one for all.
Look,
We're
he's
in,
not on the
boys.
fence about it.
Nah, it's Tam who's my detective buddy, so I'll take his help because he's a good detective.
True, you guys did have the Tarragon adventure together. That was very amusing.
He'll find his ass.
Yeah, let's go. Apparently, he's in one of the maintenance rooms upstairs.
Point of order. Hey, all you guys, can you come with me? I want you to come with me.
Who are you guysing at?
Everybody else. We've had too many non-group activities for my liking. I don't care. I don't care if he doesn't want you. I want you.
Groptar's got like half his meatloaf left.
I'll take my plate.
As he's talking to them, I'm just gonna keep walking, yell back to him. Yeah, I'll just meet you guys up there then.
Just
Ben-
crumbs all over the floor.
You
like
guys can
your
catch
mom's
up.
worst nightmare type of scene.
I'm
There's
running.
the robot that's been assigned to like guard over you guys is like coming behind you, like rapidly cleaning up.
Like sweeping with like a the movie theater broom and dustpan type situation.
Ben, I just sent you a message. Is that short enough that it would be appropriate for me to share with everybody?
Yeah, for sure. On the sheet of paper, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So I'm gonna paste that then in the notes and links.
Who are you sharing that with?
I am sharing it. I'll put it in the message.
Well, like in game, who are you sharing that with?
Yeah. I'm sharing it specifically with Abe, Gordon, and Tam.
Okay.
And we saw this on our ride there.
No, he just finished it when you guys found out Grobthar was there. So, as Grobthar is shoveling food into his mouth, he's kind of like showing you guys this.
This is great and all.
Can
Think
you
we
put
gotta
that in the
stick-
Estonia one though? Not the general one.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have to delete it from the other one.
I think we gotta stick together and follow Gordon on this one. Just feel like usually when we split up like this, one person leaves, bad things happen.
Yeah, Gordon's just like not even paying attention to what Shen is trying to tell us with the note, and he's just trying to find Dane.
But I'm gonna look at it.
Well, you can keep it for your reference. So if you want to look at it later, go for it. Because I'm sure that me telling you that we need to betray Revert is probably got you curious in some sort of way. I'd hope.
Do I know? Did Abe tell us what happened? No, you just said he passed out.
Yeah,
He was trying to pray.
yeah.
Cool.
The prayers are too hard.
We could ask Grobdar what he remembers from before he fell asleep.
I remember nothing.
Who are you guys? Where am I?
Why am I here? Why is this city made out of fancy rock?
Where are my mom and dad?
That would
Who
be
am
funny.
I?
They
Or
told me
you
wait by the
only
Ferris
remember
wheel,
what-
but then
You remember what you forgot last time, but you forgot this stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. That's how we could have Grobthar on both campaigns.
oh Jesus.
Oh, that'd be great. I could legit make that happen because of dumb things in the world, but I'm not going to.
Glance at that note. Kinda shit. Kinda quickly. And then just like chase after Gordon.
Gordon is
later.
frantically looking down the halls.
I'm just yelling out, trying to find Dane. Dane! 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 Where are you, Dane?
Seems to be to no avail.
Rule number 1 is to lie about something. So
I'm very
I-
tall.
so Dane can't play an instrument. Okay, step 2. Step 2 is to look up for something out of place. Does anything look out of place, Ben?
You look around, the only thing that looks out of place is the robot following you, very frantically picking up the crumbs that Grobthar's leaving from his tray that he's shoveling down while walking. Very
Looks
intently.
normal.
Everything
Okay.
looks normal.
Are we upstairs?
You're slowly going like up a ramp past many rooms. It's all like it seems to be like every other room is a sort of like shop of some sort. They seem to have different things in them though, each one.
So we're not
And
upstairs, we're on
what's
a
going-
ramp going upstairs right now?
Yeah, like
What's the
you're
rooms on the
underneath the
ramp?
castle. That's where you guys are being like. That's where your food's been served to you guys. That's where you've slept.
Oh, okay.
So when he says upstairs, does he mean like
To ground level.
upstairs?
To like
Okay.
ground level.
Or does he mean whoosh?
No, you
Okay.
guys aren't just ascending.
I'll be right
Okay.
back.
Alright, cool.
We were in one of those maintenance rooms before, right? Revert showed you, Gordon.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe we should start over there.
One step ahead of you.
All right.
As I'm going to the maintenance room that Revert took us to, what he showed me how to like repair Dane and whatnot.
Alright, as you get there, you're met by other robot guards that are standing in front of a gate. And they go, "Hello, may I help you?"
Yeah, I'm trying to look for my robot. Goes by the name D4N3. Apparently, he's been
We
taken
do
into one of the
not-
maintenance rooms.
We do not keep inventory over our kind.
Okay. Which maintenance rooms are being used right now?
There are a lot of them.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna if I can go to all the maintenance rooms I can, just start banging on the doors or talking.
Alright,
to
roll me a perception check.
Perception.
I'll help. I'll start at the other end and work.
Alright,
Oh,
roll yourself.
whopping 2.
nice. You frantically run past many doors that are open, looking into some of them, not finding him.
Roll up. You said perception?
Yep. They're frantically looking for D4 and 3.
8.
You look in the room that look in the rooms that Gordon passed very briefly. Do not see any sort of sign of Dane. D4 and 3.
Every time I roll on here, it's terrible. Freaking dice roller's cursed.
Shen shows
Oh.
you guys one by one the note, as I think only Tam had a reaction to it so far.
Yeah, Gordon just doesn't really care about the no right now. Like he knows that it's a priority to look at it, but right now he just really just wants to try and find Dane.
Okay. How does Abe react to it?
He's speechless.
Say he would be right back or something.
That was Shen.
That was
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
here. He is going to be surprised. Yeah.
By the way, guys, I'm gonna have to go in a couple of minutes. Just for probably
Yeah,
like 10 minutes.
we're ending at 8:30, so
I mean, I'll be back. Nicole told me at 8:20 she's gonna FaceTime me because she's meeting the dog in 10 minutes.
Oh,
okay. We
Yeah,
can
surprise.
we can wrap it up pretty quick here, anyways, if you guys want. I mean, I don't see you guys doing anything too dramatically big here.
Unless we find Dane, that'd be pretty big. D4 and 3.
4 and 3.
He's in the mines right now, slaving away.
Didn't they say they took him back for maintenance or repairs?
yeah, we're like on the ground floor looking through all the maintenance rooms trying to find him.
Okay. You haven't thought to ask anybody yet, or is there no
I did,
information?
but apparently they don't keep inventory.
Well,
of their
that's not true.
robots.
It's not true at all. They absolutely do. He should have tested them, see if they were lying.
Cops can't lie.
Are you a cop? You have to tell me if you are.
It's in the Constitution.
Gord wasn't so pressed about pressing people in that time. If he was thinking more logically, he definitely would have.
Makes
All
sense.
right. Some time goes by and you fail to find him in any of the rooms that you've searched in.
God damn it.
As you guys sort of retreat to your rooms for a little bit longer, you are met with a meal placed in front of you.
He's gonna be the fucking chef. There's no way. Check all the kitchens. Is he in the kitchens?
No, they just didn't know that you ate somewhere else, so they gave you food.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Well.
Gordon's not gonna eat it.
It'd be rude not to.
All right. Well, I suppose we can end it there then for today. No more sporadic things happening, unless you guys want to do some knowledge share of some things that happened. But
I'm gonna wait till next time.
all right, sounds good.
I'm good.
That was really cool.
That was fun.
Get a little bit of a insight into how Parker's life was while the rest of you were having your own little epidemic or own little
Epidemic.
episodes. I was gonna say, but it turned into epidemic.
After we're having our own little Epcot.
Yeah, you know.
While I was slaving away in the mines.
Fun time, fun time.
Just escaped.